Today we're diving into Exodus chapter 17, a powerful chapter that shows us both human nature at its worst and God's faithfulness at its best. We'll see the Israelites face two major challenges, a crisis of thirst and their first military battle in the wilderness. The crisis at Rephidim, Exodus 17, 1-7. The setup. The Israelites have been traveling through the wilderness, following God's guidance. They arrive at Rephidim and immediately face a life-threatening problem. There's no water. The people's response. Instead of turning to God in prayer, the people do what they've done before. They quarrel with Moses. But notice how their complaint escalates this time. They demand water from Moses as if he's responsible. They accuse Moses of bringing them out to die. And most seriously, they ask, "Is the Lord among us or not?" This last question reveals the heart of the issue. They're not just thirsty, they're doubting God's presence and care. God's solution. God doesn't rebuke the people for their lack of faith, though he could have. Instead, he provides clear instructions to Moses, the elders as witnesses. This miracle needed to be public. Moses strikes the rock with his staff, and water flows abundantly. The names given, Moses names the place Massa, testing, and Meribah, quarreling, because the people tested God and quarreled with Moses. The battle with Amalek, Exodus 17, 8-16. The attack. The Amalekites attack Israel at Rephidim. This is significant because it's Israel's first military conflict as a nation. The Amalekites attack the weak and vulnerable, Deuteronomy 25, 17-18. And this begins a long-standing enmity between these peoples. The strategy Moses devises a unique battle plan. Joshua leads the fighting on the ground. Moses goes to a hilltop with the staff of God, and Aaron and Hur support Moses. The miracle of the raised hands. Here's where it gets fascinating. When Moses raises his hands, Israel prevails. When he lowers them, Amalek prevails. This teaches us several things. Victory depends on God's power, not military might. Prayer and intercession are crucial in spiritual warfare, and community support is essential. Aaron and Hur holding up Moses' arms. The stone and the throne. When Moses gets tired, they put a stone under him and support his hands until sunset. Moses builds an altar called "The Lord is my banner" and declares that God will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Key lessons for today. 1. God provides in impossible situations. Just as God brought water from a rock, he can provide for our needs in ways we never imagined. The rock in the desert becomes a beautiful picture of Christ, who provides living water, 1 Corinthians 10, verse 4. 2. The power of intercession. Moses' raised hands represent the power of persistent prayer and intercession. Like Aaron and Hur, we need community to help us when we grow weary in prayer. 3. Testing reveals our hearts. The word massa means testing. Difficult circumstances don't create our character, they reveal it. How do we respond when God seems absent or silent? 4. God fights for his people. The battle with Amalek shows that our struggles are often spiritual in nature. God fights for us, but we must participate through prayer, faith, and obedience. New Testament connections. The Apostle Paul references this chapter in 1 Corinthians 10:4, identifying the rock as Christ. Jesus also references this passage when he speaks of giving living water, John 7:37-39. The raised hands of Moses point forward to Christ on the cross, whose outstretched arms secured victory over our greatest enemies, sin and death. Conclusion. Exodus 17 reminds us that God is faithful even when we're faithless. He provides for our physical needs and fights our spiritual battles. The question the Israelites asked, "Is the Lord among us or not?" is one we all face in difficult times. The answer, demonstrated through water from a rock and victory in battle, is a resounding yes. God is with his people, he provides for his people, and he fights for his people. What's your biggest takeaway from Exodus 17? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more biblical insights. Next week, we'll continue our journey through Exodus as we meet Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, and learn about delegation and leadership in chapter 18.